Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Kara Couture, and welcome back to my economical, eco-friendly, and eccentric little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every one of the main stage runway looks on Drag Race Philippines Season 3. And am I relieved with this episode because we get a ball, and it's not 3 looks per queen, it's only 2, so hallelujah. You have no idea how excited I was when I found that out, because I have a very busy week. I have to kind of be quick about this review today because I have to finish totally getting ready. I'm going to be in a little queer indie local film project, and they needed a bunch of local queens for it. I'm off to go do that for the vast majority of today. I have to edit this episode the night that I'm filming it so it can go up on Thursday like I would like it to. And on Thursday, I'm being interviewed for a zine. So it's a busy week. And my very conservative hometown is having its first ever Pride this weekend, and I'm performing in it, so fingers crossed that that goes well and is safe and wonderful and lovely. But we have new lashes. First off, before we dive in, I just want to thank you all again, if you didn't read the community tab, for watching and supporting, especially these last 2 videos. The views have been insane, and on top of that, we are, at the time I'm recording this, 550 watch hours away from hitting YouTube partner, at least the first tier. The real kicker is the premiere episode, y'all showed up and showed out so fiercely on it. That episode alone has 392 watch hours, and none of those have been logged in at the time I'm recording this video. So I think we're gonna have no problem hitting that in the next couple of weeks, which is super exciting, and I hope y'all continue to support at that level, because if you do, and you keep subscribing, literally all we need to hit the next stage of YouTube partner and making this a viable part of my business model and my career as a content creator, because we need 1,000 subscribers. Hit that little button, it's free. So tell your friends, even hit the button for them maybe, because if we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and then if we can get an additional 1,000 watch hours beyond what I need to hit partner, so really only 1,500 more watch hours over this season in Global All Stars, I think we could hit it. I really do think we could hit it. And on top of that, I got my camera all figured out finally, so I don't look like a vampire. I'm in color for once. Now you get to see my actual skin tone. But again, just wanted to take a moment to thank you all for the support. I appreciate it so much. It's really been blowing me away. It's really been kind of wild, I have to say. So as always, if you want to support the content and if you like the vibe here, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those lovely little things, share the videos as well. And if you want to support financially in the meantime, be sure to go over and join my Patreon. The link is down in the description. I have tiers at $1, $3, and $5 a month, and I do have some behind the scenes exclusive insider information on 3 things that are coming to the channel soon. Just saying, you might want to join the Patreon and check that out. There's also going to be an episode discussion thread, so if you want to talk about the full episode with me over there and have a lovely little back and forth, I would love to hear all of your opinions about every aspect of this episode. Let's get into it. Now, for anyone new to the channel who has never seen Very Slay, if I think that a look gets the job done, met the brief, but doesn't blow me away, we give it an okay. If I absolutely love it, we give it a slay. And if I think it's got a lot of problems, I would return it to the checkout. I would want a refund maybe. I give it an A. And that's all in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look out of every episode, which will go head to head against our current ranked slay of the season, which is Kiana's Runway from last episode. Whichever look out of this week and last week's stays on top will be one step closer to being the look I illustrate for the season. Now, we've got 23 looks technically, so let's jump on over to the proper scene this time and dive in to each and every one of these. Okay, first off, let's talk about Mama Pow's look this week, this trophy moment. Namely, I love this hair on her. This is such a good length for her face. I love this red and maroon moment on her. I think the little gold body print on this, the shoulder detailing also, and the silhouette is really nice. I don't want to take a ton of time to talk about her looks because she's the host, she's not the contestant, and we're here to talk about the contestants. So I'm just going to, in general, give this look a slay. Now, let's get into the real meat of this episode. We have 2 runways. Our first runway of this episode is a Sorry Sorry Store Eleganza moment. Now, I'm obviously not super familiar with Sorry Sorry stores because they're not really a thing here in the States. The closest thing that we would have to them is kind of like a little mom and pop shop, a little bit of like a 7-Eleven meets a bodega. And I hope I'm correct in that. That's kind of the vibe that it gives me. It's a lot of little things. I wouldn't quite say it's like a grocery store. It's a lot of like quick stuff, very grab and go energy. It's somewhere kind of in between all of those things. Really a very unconventional materials heavy episode, which is very fun to see. The second look of the episode, they had to make outfits out of trash, essentially, out of garbage. And making sustainable fashion really is the overall through line of this episode. Pretty fierce and also really important because fast fashion is gonna kill the planet. I say as I'm wearing Shein right now. Pot meat kettle in my case. Let's dive on into these looks, starting with Angel. Her Sorry Sorry store look with all these multicolored spoons. I think the bodice of this is actually really cool. I like it a lot. I love her makeup here. I'm not the biggest fan of the wet hair. She does kind of give me Ariel fresh out of the ocean vibes, which I'm very here for. I think that's quite fun. In general, I think this look would have benefited from a different general silhouette because as we will get into with Maxie's look, it is literally the exact same silhouette as Maxie's outfit. Exactly. Last week that the two of them had a bit of like a 1-2 punch on the runway with having these like really dark looks that were about like death and murder. Now they're doing basically the same silhouette in this first runway and similar fabric techniques for their second runway. But going into this first look again, I am not totally mad at it. It's not the worst thing in the world to me. I do think it's got some problems though. Generally, I'm not a fan of the red fishnets, and I also think that the side skirt thing is a weird clash of colors with the spoons, and she's got the same problem that Maxie has that we'll get into later with a visible panty. So I'm gonna give this an okay. Her look that she made, her trash and look, the hair's nice, and I like the boots, but this is just, no. It's not good. It's not good at all, girl. It's a swimsuit with shit tacked onto it. It doesn't look good. Not at all. I think had she just done different fabric treatments and had actually not like wasted the time in the workroom that she did, it could have been really interesting. Could have been a lot better than what it was. She's a great performer. She sells it well on the runway, even though the outfit is kind of garbage, despite the theme being garbage. I'm giving this one an A. Next up, we have Tita Baby in this all pink moment. Unfortunately for this look, I don't think it incorporates the Sorry Sorry store element enough. It's quite literally just a sequin dress with pink food product packaging draped around like a sash and then a receipt on the back of it. The hair's cute. I like the hair. It doesn't really take me all the way there in ways that I was hoping it would. It's a safe look, and I think the theme could have been incorporated more. But the silhouette for the dress itself on her, I actually really, really like a lot. I think it's really flattering. And like they say in this episode too, she knows her proportions, and that's half the battle. I'm gonna give this an okay. For her trash and look, I love this blue on her. And I love this hair. It's basically her promo hair, which I've established that I love. Love the jewelry. And this is a very different silhouette that I wasn't expecting for her. It's very Barbarella-y to me. It's very cute. I like what she did with the top part and the bodice. The bottom of it is not my favorite. I'm not really blown away by that. But I think she did manage to take trash and make it look like actual fabric. I think realistically, it was her first look not being taken far enough that ultimately did her in this week. But and at the same time, she didn't really like innovate anything or do anything that was incredibly different that we haven't seen before. It's a bodysuit. I'm also gonna give this an okay. Next up, we have Yudipota, who her first look is really interesting to me. I really like this editorial spin she takes with it. The mix of materials is really cool here. The mix of fabrics and textiles is also really, really fun. I love the glasses. I really like, more than anything though, the cut of this jacket. The cut of the coat is cool. There's something very modern about it that I really enjoy, but it also still fits within that really dark fantasy world that she lives in. So I think this is successful. I do think there are some elements like the bodysuit bits that I'm not the biggest fan of, but overall the vibe I was here for, I'm gonna give it a slay. It's probably because I loved the long fingies. I'm a sucker for a long fingy claw look. What I did also really love is that the color story is consistent between this look and her trash and look, which again, the silhouette here, it's a two-piece swimsuit moment, but the real star of this is this arm piece thing that she made out of cardboard. Like, to me, this is innovative compared to the first two looks because she took regular average materials and made something out of it that's just, it stands out because it's the most unconventional silhouette thing that we see on the runway this whole episode. It's the most outside of the standard fashion category. I think the color treatment is really cool here. I love that I think she's just wearing her natural hair for this runway too. So if that's the case, that's also pretty fierce. I love a real hair moment, as we can tell. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. It's very SMT Demon vibes, so I'm here for that. I'm gonna give this a slide. Next up, we have Popstar Bench. Her Sorry Sorry look is hands down my favorite thing we've seen from her the entire season. I love this. Out of straws, the bodice of this is so good. The color on her is gorgeous. I love this blue. The only thing I don't like is how abrupt the blue to green is and the green in the hair. I think had she just done like the nice orangey ginger moment, that would have been gorgeous. I don't think the green is necessary there. Her makeup's the real star. Her makeup looks absolutely stunning here. To me, this is the prettiest she has looked the entire season so far. Not that she hasn't looked good, but there's something that's so soft and ethereal about this makeup that I really, really love it. I'm gonna give this a slide. For her trash and look, she's another one who really models the hell out of this. I really liked the way she performed it. Love this hair on her. And this is also like quite different makeup from what we've seen the first couple weeks out of her. I think this is also really, really stunning in that department. I like what she did with the hip piece treatment, the fringy bits. That moves really, really beautifully on the runway. Really successful. I don't like the panty. I don't like the panty at all because I think the lighting really does it in, because having this like foil reflective panty next to her legs where there's lighting like through the staging, the skin tone is going to reflect on that panty, so it just looks like she's got like a nude brief on, so the look kind of gives unfinished vibes. There's some just execution finishing details here that I think could have been done a little better, but I will give her props for trying to do something different with the silhouette beyond just a bodysuit. There's some fun things here with the shoulder detailing, the asymmetry of it all, and this little peplum thing she's got going off the hip. I like that a lot too. I also enjoy the fact that she added the foil to the boots. I don't think it was necessary, and I also think that it kind of takes the look down a bit, but I'm not mad at it. I also am not blown away. I'm gonna give this look just an okay. Next up, we have Jay Quinn, whose Sorry Sorry look I actually really liked because I liked the puffer coat moment so much. I think we've seen this sort of energy before in other looks, other runways, other fashion things over the years of a puffer coat or just a coat in general that's made out of food packaging. I think this is successful. And I think that the color palette is really good. I like the counterbalance of having like the white piece underneath it with that. The hair is not particularly my favorite, but there's something quite sporty about this that I really like. So the croc heel, that's also quite fun. I like the rhinestone little visor. You know, the more I look at it, even though it's not like one of the most incredible things we get out of this runway, I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna give this a slay. However, her trash and look, I really, really liked. The Chinese Imperial silhouette on this using Chinese newspaper, that's a fun way to tie in your brand with the materials you're working with and the aesthetic fashion-wise you want to take the costume in. Really liked that a lot. Unfortunately for her, she really fumbled the bag in the performance department because the shoe gave out on her, which I thought was very funny. In the moment, I felt very bad for her, but I did giggle a little bit, I have to say. Just the moment where she went to pose and just the shoe just said, no ma'am, the diva just hobbled. I think the look itself is really well done. It's clean, it's well constructed, and the silhouette's really strong for me. I think she's one of the more successful ones in this aspect of the challenge, so I'm gonna give this a slay. Next up, we have Maxi, which I know I've already said, her Sorry Sorry look is the same silhouette as Angel's, but I actually prefer Maxi's because it's a consistent color palette and it's a consistent texture situation throughout the whole thing. She went real hard on the metallics with these bottle caps throughout the whole look. I actually really like the metallic silver feathers as well along the waistline. I think it just adds enough to differentiate it that I didn't totally notice at first that the silhouette is so similar, but she's got some really fun texture play here. I love this eye makeup. I'm not the biggest fan of the silver lip. I'm also not mad at this. What I am mad at though is that she didn't do this like with a thong. It's the panty choice for me. If you're gonna wear something that's got that high of a slit, you need to have more of like a thong or a slingshot situation going on, because otherwise you get this. You get panty ass. It just takes me out of the fantasy a bit. So that knocked it down a peg for me. In general though, I loved the rest of this look. Had she worn a different panty, it would have been one of my favorites this episode. I'm still gonna give this a slay. Now for Maxie's look that she made here, this is kind of a similar situation to Gottmik's design challenge in All Stars 9, the week they had to like make looks based off of RuPaul songs, because it's a really simple silhouette and it's really downplayed. And when you first see it, it's like, it's not that impressive. You can see a lot of work went into it. The braiding element like down the center, I think is nice. And I think just like the piecemeal nature of it, there's a lot of working parts in this look. It's too simple for me. There's not enough here. I think had she done like a glove or made the silhouette a little more asymmetrical and really played with like a high-low situation or something, it needed more. It just needed more. I'm gonna give it an okay. Next up, we have John Fediaga, and what I like about John's look here that I wish Popstar Bench's look had is that there's elements of the green and yellow straws mixed together. I actually really like the interplay there. I think had Popstar Bench's look had the blue mixed in with the green, or the green kind of coming up into the blue, and had that transition period, it wouldn't have been as jarring on the eye. I think this is cute. I like the bottle cap elements as well. There's some really fun shapes here, especially along the sleeves, and the little piece she's got in the hair. I like how spiky it is, and there's a lot of fun texture. This is a fun texture runway this week. But I like the cut of the skirt as well. I think it's cute. The hair is also really darling. The swoop and the bang is nice. I like the little sideburn as well. Really cute. I'm giving this a slay. It's a fun, fresh look. She reminds me of like a bottle of squirt. Now, her look that she made for the trashin' category, she's giving car wash. I like the hair. Ponytails are very in this episode. There's like 7 or 8 of them between these two runways. I'm not mad at it though. I like the ponytail on her. And I like the vibe she went with this, but there's not a lot of silhouette here. So it's quite boxy. So she just looks like a tube of fringe. And I think had there been a little bit more shape going on, it would have been more successful for me, but it's also not terrible. So I'm gonna give it an okay. I really like the colors here, and I think that's what is successful about it most for me. Next up, we have Zimbading in this lovely little pink moment for her Sorry Sorry runway. I like the top of it. I actually really like the soda can hair. I think that's really cute. And especially knowing that her mom had her own Sorry Sorry. So she's like fashion auntie with this. I think there's some interesting silhouette things here. I really like the up and down verticality through the skirt. I think that's quite fun. And I like the textures and the materials used for the sleeves and the bodice as well. I think it's successful. I'm not a fan of the white tights. I think had she just done like a regular nude, it would have been more successful in that department, but it's good. I'm giving it a slay. Her look she made, on the other hand, I kind of thought she was gonna be in the top for this. I really liked this a lot. This giant ribbon moment that she made is really cool. I really loved the textures of this. I loved the shapes of it, the color of it, really dynamic. And you can see the amount of scale and work that went into this. I do think, again, because of how stiff and sturdy the material is, that's kind of what did it a bit of a disservice here, because it couldn't really move that well. It was very stiff, very blocky on the runway, but I'm also not upset about that. I think given the materials and given the amount of work she put in with working them, it makes sense. It got the job done. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a slay. Next up, we have Kiana, and oh, girl, it's not letting them breathe on these runways. I absolutely adored this Sorry Sorry moment, because the idea of using like spicy chips as a big motif of this look, but then making something that's so fiery and spicy in general in the look department, I love. That's smart. And what I enjoy more than anything about this, I love a bell bottom. Anyone who knows me knows I love a bell bottom. But doing this like ridiculous flared pant, I adored it so much. The fire coloring through the flare and the bags that she used for that, it's cool. It's really great texture play. It's really great draping. I enjoy it a lot. And I also really like the little mask that she's got here, how big it is, how large the scale is, and how angular and pointed a lot of this look is. She's got the shapes on the gloves. She's got kind of like the horn cone curved tits, and then this like mohawk moment with the pepper earrings. There's really great senses of shape here. And I think that's what I enjoy about Kiana's drag a lot, is that she really knows silhouettes from like a scaled perspective. Everything makes sense. I'm still very much a fan of hers. She's quickly becoming up there with Tita Baby as my favorite in the competition, if not surpassing her a little bit. I enjoy this so fucking much. I'm giving this a slide. Her trash and look is also really great for me. I love this like cardboard mail piece that she did, where she's got all this like shipping element brought into this look. The whole thing with the cardboard, the packaging, bubble wrap, the sheer fabric that kind of has like a tissue paper vibe. It's great. It's really, really fucking great. And this straight sleek platinum moment, I'm so here for. Her makeup is stunning. She just has a great face. She's got a great, great face. And the mug works well with it because she's got good bones to work with. She's also young, so she's got that on her side too. But I enjoyed this a lot. I thought the silhouette's very fun. I thought she played with the details in fun ways. And I think having just like a straight up box as a hip bustle is kind of camp. I'm gonna give this a slay. She's also got some really fun texture play here, some really fun draping elements. I think this looks really editorial. Up next, we have Versace. For the Sorry Sorry look, I thought she was supposed to be the fashion girl, you know? I mean, not to be Alyssa Edwards about it, but mama, this is garbage. I hate this. I hate this first look. The black lip I like, the hair I like. The rest of it, I don't. I don't like the rest of this makeup. I hate the shoes with it. They don't make any sense. And it's basically like a bondagey swimsuit with fake phones strapped all over it. It's ugly. I'm sorry, it just is. And going into watching this, seeing this look come out first, following the rumors of this season, hearing the rumors that she was allegedly going to win the ball, I sat there being like, she's gonna win with this? Are we gonna have another Verushka situation where it doesn't make sense that she won? And I'm glad that we didn't. I'm very glad that we didn't. This is an A. Now, for her trash and look, I like this hair on her. She can pull off short hair well, and her makeup here is really pretty. I think this is the most flattering makeup she's done so far this season because she doesn't close off the eye shape with the brow. I like some of the detailing here. I like the accessorizing of this look. And I think it does have like a modern fashion vibe, but it also kind of gives me a little bit of like early 2000s Y2K fashion, kind of like Heatherette energy. So I see what the judges liked about it. But again, it's a design challenge, not a styling challenge. There's not a lot of design here. Let's be honest. It's not for me. I'm gonna give this an okay. Next up, we have Mix Chanel. Now, her Sorry Sorry look gives me very much Enchantress from Marvel with the headpiece and the blonde hair. I loved this. I love a comic book moment. I thought this was so cute. It's a very simple silhouette, but she does enough with it that takes it outside of being a bodysuit that I'm very much a fan. I think putting the logo on the bodice also really helps in that regard. And like the little sheer cape moment with the bags, that's cute. And the fact that the logo is almost kind of like a Mountain Dew font, I'm very here for that. This is really cute, really successful to me, giving this a slay. And that's something I've kind of noticed about her too. I know she describes her drag in this episode as cosplay adjacent, but she's done a lot of like Sailor Moon referencey things, so I enjoy the nerdy side of what she does a lot. Now, her look that she made, I think it is a bit of a redemption storyline for her drag family. You could kind of see that was the storyline for the whole episode. Her having to make a look out of trash that then ended up being pretty successful is a nice storyline moment. My favorite thing about this is how your eye moves through it, because she's got that asymmetry across the shoulder piece that spikes up, and then the same fabric treatment is used on the hip on the other side. I enjoyed that a lot. And I love the story that she told throughout both of these looks. I don't really like the bodice and skirt, how I don't really think the bodice and skirt go together that well, but I think there's some design elements on the bodice that are incredibly successful, and I think her bringing out the decapitated wig head of her first look with the duct tape mouth is kind of funny. So I'm here for that. I love when ball episode looks have everything carry over like that. So I'm going to give this a slay as well. Now it's time to pick my slay of the day for the entire episode. Even though I think Mix Chanel is a deserving winner on this challenge, for me, my favorite looks, once again, surprise, surprise, came from Kiana. And I think there's a through line you're gonna learn here on various slays that I'm gonna pick one girl who I'm gonna be obsessed with the whole season. And it's probably gonna be her on the runway. So I'm gonna be giving my slay of the day to Kiana's Trashin' look, her look that she made out of cardboard and shipping materials. I think it's incredibly successful. But when we put that look head to head against my slay of the day from last week, I do think last week's look wins it for me and takes this look out. So we've still got episode 1's look holding that top spot as my favorite look this season, but I have a feeling whenever they have this carnival themed runway that we get to see a little bit of in the trailers, I'm just gonna tell you preemptively, Kiana's look is probably gonna be my slay of the day for that one, and it's gonna be tough to top that look as my slay of the season. So let's just see how long Kiana holds on to this position, because I have a feeling she's gonna be holding it for quite some time. I enjoyed this episode a lot though, I thought it was really fun, and with that being said, I'm excited for people to start going home. Make this easier for me. As much as I love having a lot of things to talk about, so you've got a lot of things to watch and it will pad the watch hours. Here I am 12 hours later after coming back from filming. I think the face held up pretty well. Now you can all see kind of the full final intended look that I would have been in for filming the episode itself today, but maybe I'll just kick this back out for another one. I'm sure you'll see this hair combo again multiple times going forward. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those lovely little things, and be sure to go out there, stay kind, stay queer, and make sure that your day is really slay.